Shalom, give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakadush. Salutation to the elders and apostles, GMS groups, and ones alike, teacher and percent true. Shalom, Rakathum to them. And double honors to the elders and apostles, GMS groups, and ones alike, teacher and percent true. Shalom, Rakathum to them. The edification and knowledge, all praise again to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakadush. That's a TRT world video relating to refugees and immigrants in the EU area, specifically in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm going to go to Romans 8:35. This is Romans 8:35. Who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or the sword? So basically all these types of things that come upon you, none of these things are going to separate us ultimately from the Yahweh Bashem Yashah. And this relates to especially the believers. I'm going to Hosea 6:1. Related to the perils, that relates to different types of adverse, specifically circumstances that individually ones go through. Whether physical, mental, psychological, etc. This is Hosea 6:1. Come and let us return unto the Lord Yahweh, for he have torn, and he will heal us. He has smitten, and he will bind us up. So whatever the Lord can do, the Lord can do both. He can do of good, and he also can do of he can do a bad. He can do a good, and he also could do a bad. Or vice versa. So this relates to, because the people are at a certain state of condition, they've been separated, Hellenized, and broken. So it's basically coming back into the Lord. Come back into the Lord and be restored, man. Be healed mentally, physically, spiritually. Begin to come back. Repent and acknowledging Yahweh Bashem Yashah, man. I'm going to read that again. Come and let us return into the Lord Yahweh, for he hath torn, which is pretty much tear, and he will heal us. And he hath smitten, which is to punish, and he will bind us up. So ultimately he's the one that's going to heal through the relating to the adversities that we're going to go through. Let's go to Job 5:6. Although afflictions cometh not forth, although affliction cometh not forth out of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the grounds. So it's not proceeded out of relating to from the natural causes. It's by really the ways of and desires of men, man. Their free will, whether their ambition, their will to do certain things that's contrary, which ultimately will cause them to sin and err, man. Err and sin. So it's by their own doings, man. And by their own doings that ultimately causes their own demise, man. Let's go to 2 Timothy 2:12. Second Timothy 2:12. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. if we deny him, he will also deny us. So pretty much being that good soldier, man. If we have faith and trust, you're going to suffer. Suffer relates to patience, enduring, suffering, and having patience, man. So if we endure, endure and have trust in him, then we're going to ultimately we're going to reign. That's that crown, So basically, coming into relating to this truth and knowledge, like Ecclesiasticus 2 talks about the duties towards the Lord. Let me get it. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in times of trouble. Cleave unto him, depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient. And this relates to deal with adversity, temptations, things that's going to be hardships, forms of hardships related to this truth, man. And just relating to from a natural state, relating to carnally as well, dealing with the elements, man. The elements of hardship, adversity, whether mentally, physically, spiritually, especially spiritually. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. So humility, man, through that hardship. And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state, related to deal with these different types of unique, diverse varieties of adversity, man. Whether from the carnally or from the spiritual. And maintain levels of humility in the process to the best of your abilities. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. That fire, physical fire, spiritual fires. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. Waiting is related to patience, suffering, enduring. And go not aside, unless thee fall. So contrary to that, you're going to fall, man. So it's pretty much staying on the spiritual course to the best of your abilities, especially the ones who are pushing this truth and knowledge, man. And believers relating to Yahweh Bashim Yasha as well. Go back to we go to Matthews. It's in Matthews 24. This relates to Great Tribulation. It's Matthews 20. We'll start at number 20. Pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, because the winter is cold. You deal with the elements, harsh conditions. For example, of that, the people, those refugees deal in those areas in Bosnia and Bosnia-Hertzgovina, man. Harsh conditions, snow, cold, elements very cold, frigid. They deal with harsh conditions, man. So you pray that your flight be not in the winter. Your flight is pretty much your departure, man. If you had to move to and fro. And relating to that bottleneck, so it's become a bottleneck, which I'm going to get the definition right here. The bottleneck effect is an extreme example of genetic drift that happens when the size of a population is severely reduced. Events like natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, fires, wars, a population killing most individuals and leaving behind a small random assortment of survivors, such as the refugees, immigrants. Genetic drift article, for example. So that's the bottleneck effect, and that's what it has become, the bottleneck effect. A narrow section of a road or a junction that that impedes traffic flow. So something that's a obstruction, a gridlock, congestion, traffic jam. You know what I mean? So and usually from very adverse and extreme conditions, such as examples I was saying: earthquakes, floods, fires, wars, destruction. You know what I mean? So it caused the people to pretty much drift and pretty much be scattered. I'll get back to that verse. We'll read number 20 again. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to the time, nor ever shall be. But that will also with Jeremiah 30:7 talk about Jacob's trouble. And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. And that's for the elect's sake. Otherwise, there will be no flesh to be saved, man. This was something short. Hope it, whoever listened to water from who are listening, give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Rakadash Shalom.